Well, turning to breaking news in this morning's Sunrise Smart Start, a police officer and a deputy in Onondaga County have died after a shootout with a suspect.
Here's the time frame. This case began around 7 o'clock for an attempted traffic stop. The driver took off in the car, and after running the plates, the vehicle's registration was pinpointed to a location in Salina. Police say the shooting started once law enforcement arrived there a little after 8. An officer from Syracuse Police Department and a deputy with Onondaga County Sheriff's Unit were shot. The suspect was also hit. All three of them died at the hospital.
It's a dark day for Syracuse. This is our worst nightmare come true. And our thoughts right now are with the families of those two officers, those heroes. And if anyone knows a police officer, family member of a police officer, give them a hug.
After this, police from all over central New York, those agencies gathered outside the hospital for that procession where the officer and deputy were taken after the shooting. The sheriff's office working this case is getting a warrant to search the home where the shooting happened. We'll bring you more updates here, News 8 at noon and online this morning at rochesterfirst.com.
The Livingston County Sheriff's Office giving more details on that heavy police presence witnessed outside Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester over the weekend. An inmate who was receiving medical care at Strong while under court orders out of custody reportedly left hospital grounds. In fact, deputies say Patrick Steinmetz, here on your screen now, was arrested back on April 4th for several felony sex charges, including patronizing a minor for prostitution. At the time, he was held without bail due to having prior felony convictions. Steinmetz released from custody with some conditions under review due to a medical condition. But then Saturday, several law enforcement agencies had to rush to the hospital after receiving reports Steinmetz left Strong. He was located Sunday morning at a home in Rochester, taken back into custody and now without bail.
Happening today in New York, the first criminal trial for former President Donald Trump gets started with jury selection. This is in Manhattan. The former president faces 34 counts of falsifying business records, including claims he covered up $130,000 in hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels to hide a previous relationship with Daniels prior to the election in 2016. Legal experts say it could take weeks to seat all the jurors and alternates.
Ultimately, there is no one who is going to enter that courthouse who doesn't have an opinion about Donald Trump.
On that, both sides will be on the lookout for stealth jurors, people who may try to lie just to get onto this historic jury. They'll have to answer a survey of at least 42 questions, asking things such as if they've ever gone to a Trump rally or if they follow the former president on social media.
The U.S. responds now after Iran launched drone and missile attacks on Israel over the weekend. President Joe Biden has told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu the U.S. will not participate in a retaliatory strike, although the U.S. administration will protect American forces and troops in the region if they're threatened. Israel credited an international military coalition with helping thwart this direct attack. But the question now, what do they do next?
In the coming days, and in consultation with other member states, the United States will explore additional measures to hold Iran accountable here at the United Nations. More immediately, the Security Council must unequivocally condemn Iran's aggressive actions and call for Iran and its partners and proxies to cease their attacks.
A new poll from CBS News gathered before the Iranian attack shows that nearly 40% of Americans want the president to encourage Netanyahu to stop military actions in Gaza.
6:51, your sunrise traffic update here early on this Monday morning. 390, 590, and 490 looking okay around the Rochester Metro if you're about to head out. Still working some cleanup with crews out there at the scene of a semi that caught fire overnight. That was between the Victor and Henrietta exits going westbound on 90. Traffic still moving, just a little slow there. We will bring another update coming up at about 7:25. A reminder, today is the last day to file your taxes unless you ask for an extension.
The IRS says many taxpayers have already filed for free using its new direct file tool that's currently available in 12 states, including New York. Most people who qualify for a refund will see that money within 21 days.
2 out of every 3 taxpayers that files with us is owed a refund. And people want their refunds quickly, as they should. And we want to get people's money in their pocket. Our mission at the IRS is not necessarily to make it fun, but to make it as seamless and as easy as possible, and to give taxpayers options and to serve them wherever they are and what they need.
And if you need to file that extension, you can head to the IRS's website, fill out the appropriate forms. If you owe money to the IRS but can't pay, there are installment plans you can set up online.
With that deadline today in mind, we want to tell you about this free local program to help people with tax filing, especially if you're a late filer.
Yeah, Ron Spitzer was able to speak with the director of this free program to find out what we should all know on and post tax day. Ron.
Yes, this is all through the CASH program, an initiative by the Empire Justice Center, which is a coalition of organizations which helps address people's financial needs and concerns like taxes. Eversha Roman, the director of CASH, says they've received around 10,000 calls this tax season. Of those, helped with 3,500 returns. The program is comprised of volunteers, and Roman tells me staff help the community save $1.2 million in processing fees, and those funds go back to the community to pay for necessities like food, child care, and housing. Though the next important date for folks to remember is May 17th. That's the deadline for 2020 returns, which is how you qualify for stimulus payment.
We haven't talked about stimulus payments in a really long time. That was a significant credit in the community and significant dollars getting into the hands of some of our most vulnerable community members. But there are still individuals in our community who have not received their 2020 stimulus payments, and CASH is around to help.
CASH helps those who need to amend their returns only if they did the return, but the organization does help late filers. The program is hosting summer sessions for those who need help filing back taxes. You can call or show up on the 4th floor of the Central Library on South Avenue. Guys, back to you.
Lower 60s this afternoon. A gorgeous, nothing to talk about here. Yeah. Right?
Nothing to talk about except sunshine, and we are well into sunrise here at 6:28.
I just glanced at the UV. It is at 5. So you spend a couple hours outside.
Sunscreen?
You make it a little bit rosy out there.
You should be wearing sunscreen every day.
Yeah. Thank you, James. Thank you for watching us here this Monday at Sunrise. Our next update in half an hour.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.